going to be an interesting storyline for Billy Donlin.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineups. It'll be your guy, Carlton Brundidge, who had his 28 points, a career high last night, starting once again. At guard, Anton Wilson, who had a big night last night as well. Chris Jenkins, who didn't score. Josh McFauley.
Yesterday, for violation of team rules, did not play in the first half and didn't even start the second half. But in only 11 minutes, did you see his numbers in that game yesterday?
He was impressive. And again, it was basically in 10 minutes of play, 8.7 rebounds. And certainly made an impact. So Detroit has the first possession. And Jenkins, surprisingly, didn't score yesterday, but did some other things very well. Basically the Brundidge and Wilson show. 8 on the shot clock. They work it into Hogan. And the roll does not go. Thomason there for the rebound. Thomason, a member of the all-defensive team. They'll bring it up here for Wright State's first possession. There's Yoho, we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast. Corena.
Corena was quiet yesterday against UIC. He was coming off some big performances where he was able to help out this Raiders squad.
Each team working that shot clock down. That one's stuck.
See, now, Andy, if you and I were playing, that's it. We got to go home.
Yep, I'm done. I need a ladder. So basically that becomes a jump ball, and possession will favor Wright State, so they get the possession.
That would have been game over. That's it.
Kind of like in when you played fast pitch against the wall, if the ball went on the roof.
Game over. See you tomorrow.
Yep. Same time, same channel.
I see Detroit here in 2-3 zone. I think we're going to see a lot of this, and here's why. Written column said we have to force Wright State to be a jump shooting team.
Yoho. Allstorff will pull up from 3. That's no good. And a rebounding foul will come up over the back. Michael Corena, and Tim, that's been his biggest problem. He gets into foul trouble and becomes a non-factor.
He's doing better as he's getting older as far as, understanding his body. You see Billy Donlin there on the sideline. He understands the importance of having Corena on the floor. Zones sound like a great idea, but the problem is when a shot goes up, you got to locate somebody. And that was an excellent job there by Anton Wilson boxing out. I liked playing zone because you could blame it on somebody else. You go, that was the other guy's fault.
Here's Brundidge backing down his man as he did so effectively last night. First shot is up and good.
I mean, the confidence is just oozing right there from Carlton Brundidge. With that basket, he had more points than he did against Wright State all year.
So a 2-0 lead here for Detroit. More than a minute and a half gone by in our first half. Inside to Corena, a nice touch in the paint. He scores. Are you surprised at all at the beginning of this game that Detroit is kind of playing this? They're speeding it up a little bit here, but the first couple of possessions were shot clock winding down to 8. Now Allstorff with a running start down the lane, he scores.
And that's what's scary for Raymond Collum is when Wright State's able to penetrate into the lane. They're so good in the paint. But Wright State makes you play that right. They force you to play their styles. Brundidge again. I mean, he just feels like he can take on anybody in Joe Louis Arena right now. Get him the ball.
And a technical foul has been assessed, I believe, to Brundidge. And that will also count as a personal foul. Yep, so he's got a foul. And maybe feeling it a little too much on his way down the floor. So Joe Thomason will shoot the technicals. Well, the first one good for Joe Thomason. And that breaks our tie here, 5-4.
I'm sitting courtside here, and I played. It was not a professional. I played the Big Ten and the Big East. For less than 2.5 minutes in to call a technical foul, personally, I think that's a little harsh.
Yeah.
He didn't do like a throat slash, or I don't think he embarrassed anybody. Was he talking some smack? Yes. But here's a kid who's playing his best basketball of his entire career, and I think the ref should have done a better job of maybe stopping the game and telling him he's got to cool it.
That's time maybe for a warning. Corena against Hogan. Hook shot left short, tried to battle for the rebound, but Hogan took it away. Here comes Jenkins.
And Wright State does a great job of getting back on defense. They know you must slow down this Titans team.
McFauley for 3, that's no good. Hughes takes down the board. Here come the Raiders. Thomason spinning. And scoring off glass and off every part of the rim.
One of the better defenders in the Horizon League. He's got an offensive game where he loves to get into that paint and use his touch. Long arms, athletic kid. Really an extension of the coach on the floor. Just all little things.
And a whistle. Foul coming up on Wright State's Mark Allstork. That's his first. Second on the team. Again, Billy Donlin. 107 wins at the helm of Wright State. Coach of the year back in 2013. And another 20-win season for the Raiders.
When do you expect to see Paris Bass in this game?
That's a really good question. I mean, I would think maybe after the first media timeout, just to get him in the flow. There was no flow for him, obviously, to get into yesterday. They were in front. That three is short, and Yoho for the rebound. And Allstork limps off the floor. He got kind of tangled up as Jenkins was trying to shoot. I'm not sure if it's a shoe problem or an ankle problem. It's more like a shoe problem.
Yeah, I think he has a wardrobe malfunction. Yeah, that shoe's no good. Yeah. Into the locker room he goes.
He blew a tire, literally. And what better place to blow a tire than in Motor City, USA?
Now, you always pack 2 pairs of shoes, but I'll tell you this right now. Allstork has had such a great year to transfer from Rhode Island that some of those guys at the end of the bench, they may have only 1 shoe on at the end of the game if that happens again.
So Biggie Minnis will take over for him. He'll give it off to Hughes. He sees a seam. Big contact, offensive foul. Let's take a look at the shoe. Just kind of malfunctioning here. Yep, there it goes.
That's not a great endorsement there for Nike.
He came right out of it. Toe was pointing one way, and his actual toes are pointing the other way. 8-4, the early lead here for Wright State.
Hughes was so good on defense yesterday against Cameron Morse. Excellent job of using his feet and really stifled the Youngstown State score.
Nice move inside there by Hogan. See at the top of your picture, Allstork has come out of the locker room. He's going to have to change out both shoes. Inside to Coretta. Another turnaround hook, and that one's good. And a traveling violation. It's Hughes showing why he is a great defender for Wright State. And it's one of those things, I'm sure as a referee, you see somebody mouthing down the floor and you want to stop it, but sometimes, as pointed out, it might be better just to stop the game and give a warning this early. Into Coretta for the flush. Great ball movement.
That was set up by the cut by Yoho. And then he was able to get in the lane. The defense converges and points in the paint. Really been a story so far. 10 for Wright State.
And now Hogan will float that one in.
Hogan's playing great so far in this tournament. He was in double figures yesterday and was throwing his body all over the floor. There's a confidence about him that I haven't seen all season long. He wants the ball. He demands the ball down low.
There's a steal there by McFoley. Coretta against Hogan. Got it, and a foul. We talked a lot about the guards. It's all about the inside plays so far.
Well, somewhere right now, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is weeping because he made that shot famous, and it's one of those shots that when it goes in, it is so pretty. And when it doesn't, it looks horrible. But Coretta's, I think because Hogan's demanding the ball, it's brought a rise out of the big man from New Zealand, who, like I said before, had some big games down the stretch for Billy Donlin's crew.
He is the first Raiders player ever from New Zealand. And converts on the three-point opportunity.
He was averaging 22 a game over his previous 2 contests before. Only 4 points yesterday against UIC.
And a whistle on a foul again. And Biggie Minnis will pick up that whistle.
Detroit has shot, Andy, 63 free throws against Wright State in their 2 games. I mean, that is an alarming rate.
Now Brundidge with it again against Minnis. Here we see Paris Bass for the first time of the game. Dolan pass behind the back into Brundidge and a score.
Welcome to the game, Paris Bass. First team All Horizon League, and you can just see the talent from the 6'8" sophomore. Can do so many different things well. Just has to stay on the floor.
Now Yoho. Everything but finished. He had Brundidge on him. He saw the mismatch and took it. Now Jenkins. Nice entry pass inside, but it's stolen away by Grant Benzinger.
Excellent help weak side by Benzinger. Now got to find the shooters.
And Allstork off the mark. Must be the shoes.
But he had no rotation on that ball. Might have slipped.
And there's a steal. We go the other way. Nice bounce pass to Menace. Could not finish, though. There's Yoho to clean it up.
Yoho was great against Detroit earlier this year where he had 31 points. He followed up a game previous against the Titans where he only had 3. So what Yoho are we going to get today?
Wilson to Hogan. And a foul coming up on Coretta. And a quick second foul on Coretta. Daniel Mortensen. Joe Thomason looked to be checking back into the game. Actually, Mortensen for the first time. And Matthew Grants will be in for the first time here for Detroit. As Brundidge will take a seat. I think right there, Daniel Mortensen had a little bit of a coming out party yesterday with 14 points. It was funny to hear what Coach Donald said at halftime of our game yesterday. When asked why Mortensen didn't play more, he basically said he was having some trouble adjusting to the game here, being out of Denmark.
He said the light bulb has gone off. Mortensen is a difference maker. He's more of a stretch 4, stretch 5, likes to step out, pick and pop, excellent rotation on his shot, really has seamless form, and Billy Donlin said he's the best shooter on our team, flat out.
Thomason probably should have taken that one to the glass, tried to pass it off and stolen away. Now Wilson.
Anton Wilson, we have not called his name too much.
Been the Jaleel Hogan show basically early on. Jenkins, 15 to shoot. Grant will try to settle it down. The open man is Jenkins. Shot off the mark. And the rebound taken out of there by Minnis. Jenkins has yet to score in either of the games.
Wright State's doing an excellent job of finding shooters with Thomason as well as Hughes.
Allstork hangs and scores. Nice athletic move there from Allstork. Transfer from Ball State, and Bass on the ground and out of bounds. And a much needed break in the action here for Detroit.
Thank you. It's rare that happens. But thank you.
You're very welcome. And I'm being very sincere and honest when I say that. Thomason will bring it across the line here for Wright State. Now Thomason once again with it. Mortensen open. He'll pull the trigger on his first shot. That's off the mark. And a couple of Titans battle for the rebound, and Bass will take it out.
Yeah, that was a called play out of a timeout by Billy Donlin. Think about this. Mortensen, before yesterday's game where he has 14 points against UIC, had only 29 points the entire year. Right? And now he's getting plays called for him out of timeouts.
And an offensive foul called here.
Who really has a style of play that translates. If you don't defend for Wright State, you will not play. Ask Mortensen. That was the biggest thing that Billy Donlin said. Said offensively, he was solid. But it was defensively, the effort wasn't there day in and day out in practice. That's why he wasn't getting minutes.
He'll tee it up again, and this time he's got it.
I mean, that stroke is perfect. The rotation is gorgeous. And when you have a pick and pop big man at this level, oh, so hard to guard.
The lead is 12. The drought for Detroit has reached 3.5 minutes. And 4 turnovers over that time, and a block from behind by Allstork. The Raiders on a bust out. Benzinger calling. 3 is up and around and out.
Thomason there with just a sensational pass. That's Benzinger's shot. I mean, over 50% of his makes this year have been threes.
Jenkins trying to end this drought. Almost 4 minutes now.
How good has the defense been, Andy?
Excellent. It's been exceptional.
Minnis is out there. Benzinger, Thomason, Allstork talking on defense. They're switching a lot of stuff.
That one won't fall. Big battle underneath. Bass came out with it and missed a shot, but a foul. So Bass will go to the line. So we've had some end-to-end action here and battles underneath.
The effort has just been there more from Wright State. And you see Bass just has such a keen awareness for the basketball. And the way to get easy baskets is to go to the offensive glass, but Detroit has been so stifled right now on offense. You got to credit Wright State.
Jenkins will check out. Yoho is back in here for Wright State, as you just saw.
You know, it's interesting that if Wright State wins this game, they get Oakland. They would rather play Valpo. They would rather play the #1 seed. Played them twice this year, the Crusaders, beat them both times.
It's amazing.
Flip side, Oakland's not that good a matchup for them because they're so athletic and they go up and down the floor, and that's the type of team that gives Wright State a problem. That's what worried about Billy Donlin in this game. He was telling me beforehand was the athleticism of the Titans.
Step back shot by Yoho, drilled.
Every time he scores, you and I look smarter.
I agree with you, and that's hard to do sometimes.
Because I had him first team All Horizon League. Not only did he not make first team, he didn't make second team.
Pass underneath, gets away from Foster Smith and out of bounds, so Wright State will take it back.
So far, JT Yoho has done such a wonderful job of setting the tone and leadership. Had 15 points yesterday against UIC, but they all came when the game was still fresh in the first half. All points that mattered. And now in this game, he's just a calming influence guy who's really had a tumultuous road here for Wright State, in and out of the lineup, especially this year. Injuries, but he's been great so far up here in Detroit.
Mortensen will give it up as they reverse it. 8 to shoot. Allstorm a little strong on that 3 attempt, and Bass will take it out.
That's what Detroit wants. They want to make Wright State a jump shooting team.
Bass down the lane, got the rebound on a blocked shot and put it back in.
And if you have not seen Paris Bass play, one of the best college basketball players in the country. I think he's a pro. Keeps working on his game. I just talked to a Dallas Mavericks scout before the game, and he was here to watch Felder and Bass.
Could not get that one to fall for Yoho, and then Hogan had it, but lost it out of bounds. So Brundidge will come back for Detroit. Thomason will come back for Wright State. And Benziger also looks to be coming back into the game. Here he comes for the Raiders. Yeah, kind of hard to argue with Bass. 18.2 points a game, 7.7 rebounds. You look at the block shots and the steals as well. He had a career-high 6 blocks this year.
Yeah, only shot 32% from 3. That's something he can improve on, but I think his biggest issue is off the floor. He's got to get his head straight because no team's going to take a chance on a guy who's a wild card.
Suspended the first 7 games of the regular season for a violation of team rules, and then, as I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, he was suspended for the first half of incident as well with a violation of team rules. Now he attacks the glass and puts it in.
I mean, he's unguardable that he gets in the post like that. I mean, you're 6'8" with those type of arms, that length, unguardable.
So now Wright State has suddenly gone cold. One of its last 5. That one of its last 6. Here's Brundidge. Work it into Hogan. This time against Mortensen.
I like this matchup.
Scoop shot, no good. Foul coming up on Mortensen. So the first on Mortensen and a timeout on the floor. Wright State still
but it's such a great event to have the Horizon League, which has no football, which is basketball centric and has had an outstanding year, especially from a national perspective. To have all these teams here has really been a culmination of a great season, player and team wise. Because I think there's anywhere from 2 to 5 NBA players in this league.
It's a pretty good guesstimate. I can think of a couple off the top. Obviously, we're seeing one of them here tonight.
The NBA is, it's all about you got to get in the right situation, right fit.
Correct.
But there's a lot of talent in this league. As you see the turnover there from Wright State. Only their 3rd of the game. The Raiders, 1 of 6 from 3-point range. So that's what Ray McCollum wanted to do. He wanted to make them a jump shooting team. In their previous meeting this season, Wright State shot almost 70% from two-point range and lost.
And a big putback there by Aaron Foster-Smith. And here come the Titans.
It starts at the defensive end for Detroit. When there's energy there, they get stops. That leads to easy opportunities.
Mortensen left open. Three, rammed in and out. It's a 7-0 run for Detroit over the last couple of minutes. What a crossover, but a carry is called. And the turnover will send it back to Wright State.
I'm sorry. You can call that every single time down the floor. You know, when Bob Cousy played, you had to dribble on top of the ball. Mm-hmm. But now, I mean, there's a carry literally every single time someone dribbles. So I think it was a little bit of an exaggeration there from Bass, but that's like holding in football.
Yep, call it every play.
And Detroit had momentum, and all of a sudden to have that pulled away, tough break.
Parker Ernsthausen is in for the first time. And Thomason had that slip through his fingertips. Here comes McFoley. Lays it up and in. So the Raiders on their heels as Detroit has gone on a 9-0 run. And a pass picked off here by McFoley. Now Brundidge will hold. All-star all over it. Good battle with Hogan and Ernsthausen. Hogan's got it now.
A lot of standing around.
Ball to the deck. And the scrum will result in a jump ball. It will stay with Detroit, but 2 seconds to shoot.
I understand what the philosophy there is to get Hogan the ball, and that's a good play. But when he catches the ball, someone's got to be diving. That way the defense shifts. When everyone stands around, you become very easy to guard.
And wait a second here. We had a horn sound. And the shot clock went down 1 second. I believe they're just going to have to reset that whole play and just say it's a do-over. It was an inadvertent horn. And yeah, the shot clock goes back to 2 seconds. And there should be 6:01 on the game clock, I would imagine. And the refs are holding things up, and you can see the guys are so anxious to go. They're battling for position already. All right, now we're set. There's your guy again.
Why not? This has been his tournament. He's been the best player on the floor for nearly a game and a half. And Carlton Brundidge, which had a donut he did against Wright State this year, leading the way.
And another steal. Brundidge had it taken away. Now Minnis ahead of the pack will lay it up and in. Big steal, big turnover, big bucket right there.
Yeah, 4-point swing there as Brundidge had an opportunity and Wright State converts on the other end. Hogan really wants to post up. He really wants this ball.
Just barreled over Ernsthausen and a foul called on Hogan. First on Hogan.
Inside the arc. But it was a possession where Hogan wanted the ball. The whole arena knew he was going to get the ball. And then when he lowered his shoulder, I think the ref anticipated that call.
And a near steal. That ball out of bounds. It'll stay with Wright State.
Foster-Smith has given him some good energy minutes off the bench yesterday and today. One of those blue-collar guys who does all the little things. On this team, it's hard to get the ball. They only play with one, Detroit. 4 guys in double figures and 4 guys that on any night could go get you 25.
We saw that last night. Brundidge is 28. Kick out, Benzinger, open 3. Missed. Ernsthausen tapped it. Saved by Minnis. Allstork hangs and scores, and a foul.
This is where Paris Bass needs to do a better job of stepping up, taking the charge, or getting his hands up. He just does nothing there. You give him all-star credit. Uses his body, as we've seen Brundidge do throughout this tournament. And Bass isn't happy. Ray McCollum saying, just rotate over and put your hands up. You're 6'8". Instead, he gets caught in a bad spot, and I understand Ray McCollum's frustration. He's still over there talking to Paris Bass.
Allstork converts. 7 points for Allstork. And a 29-22 lead for Wright State. Foley running the point. Now Jenkins slashes in, lost the handle. Ahead it comes to Minnis. 1-on-2. And a lot of contact there. And Anton Wilson will be the man to pick up the foul.
And it was Wright State's defense that really built up a double-digit lead, and now all of a sudden they're on a run again. And guess what? Thanks to their defense.
Jenkins has had a rough go of it. Yet to score here in this tournament. And Minnis cannot convert. Two for Biggie Minnis. 30-22 the score.
Benzinger's doing a great job guarding Anton Wilson, one of the best shooters in the history of Detroit. 4th all-time in three-pointers made. He's been virtually invisible in this game.
And a loose ball taken out of there by Allstork. I mean, this game has had stretches where Wright State has looked great on offense, bad on offense, great on defense, bad on defense. Same thing the other way. Now Yoho got his own rebound and missed. And Jenkins there to clean it up. And now a near steal, and Minnis almost got that one for Wright State. So we got a break in the action here with 3:28 to go in the first. And Wright State
teams, professional teams, are going to look at it and be like, is this guy a good guy? Because the games are only 40 minutes long. Everything else, going to school, being a good teammate, being involved in your community, those are the things that teams look at to see what type of person you are, not just the type of player you are.
And that one tipped off Brundidge's hands and out of bounds. Now it'll be Wright State's basketball. And another scoring drought here for Detroit has reached about almost 3 minutes. 2:43 on the clock. And now Minnis. Nice little bounce pass on the slip. Inside, Allstork scores.
They got that same play yesterday where they clear out one side and then take advantage of an overzealous Detroit team and use that against them. Billy Donovan clears out the left side, and watch the communication between Minnis and Allstork. Somewhere Pete Carrilla's smiling. The orchestrator of the Princeton offense built a super foundation through all those teams at Princeton all those years, and carried on by Bill Carmody and John Thompson and Mitch Henderson and Craig Robinson. Really, the Pete Carrilla coaching tree. Holy Cross is in the finals of the Patriot League. Bill Carmody, the former Northwestern coach.
Anton Wilson, believe that or not, first point of the game, averaging 14.3.
Holy Cross was a 9 seed, and they're in the finals of the Patriot League. So they're a hope for teams like Detroit, Wright State, Green Bay, because you get into the situation, it's like you said, it's final.
Yes.
This is it. One and done.
Yoho. And a foul on Jenkins. And it'll be one in bonus time now for both teams. So Yoho will head to the line. Jenkins picks up his first.
They had a game earlier this year, Wright State and Detroit did, where they shot over 60 free throws combined.
Short on the attempt, and Jenkins ripped it down and hands it off. And what do we have? We had a sub that was not buzzed in. That was the issue. And a shot clock issue as well. Now down to 26. And Mortensen will take advantage of this break and come in and get Ernsthausen. All right, we're ready to go.
Wonder if Ray McCollum is going to go back to Paris Bass the rest of this half.
Well, it's interesting because Bass, as I'm looking over there, is well down that bench still. That one off the mark. Jenkins had it for a moment. Now All-Star takes it for Wright State. Another gear got inside. Shot blocked by Wilson. And here come the Titans. Brundidge. And McFauley zigged when he should have zagged. What happens? Your brain gets ahead of your feet. And the turnover will give it right back to Wright State.
13 first half turnovers for the Titans. That's been a struggle for them. They're shooting 50% from the field. They're right around there. But the empty possessions, and Paris Bass does not look happy on that bench.
Mortensen to Hughes. Remember yesterday, the offense was flowing pretty well without Paris Bass in the game. I mean, not to say that you wouldn't want him in there, but they've played games without him this year and done pretty well. Jenkins will pick up another one, his second.
I'm going to give my hats off to the guys in the truck there. They did a great job coming out of that timeout, just displaying that body language for Paris Bass. Ray McCollum was not happy with that. And I thought he almost showed up Ray McCollum to this crowd, and there's a lot of Detroit supporters here. The fans have been great so far in their first two games, the Titans at Joe Louis Arena. I'd be hard-pressed to see if he gets back in this first half. And he didn't start in this game. This is back-to-back games. Will he start in the second half? Detroit can't win this game if he doesn't play.
Yoho good on a pair. 6 points in the game for Yoho. It's a 10-point game.
Watch the defense there from number 3 in white, Mark Hughes. He has just been all over Anton Wilson.
There's Rod Williams in for the first time. Foster Smith. Spinning, hanging, and scoring. He has 4. Guy that averages 3.6 a game. Trying to go backdoor. Yoho, a tough catch underneath. Wrights himself. Got his own rebound miss, but a foul coming up. Wright State benefiting from some fouls and a chance to get a little bit bigger lead here with no time coming off this clock. And another chance at the line. So 2 shots for Yoho. And good on the first.
Guess who? Paris Bass checking back into the game.
Foster Smith will take a seat. Mortensen is out. Ernsthausen's back in for Wright State. And good on both for JT Yoho. 8 points. 3-point shooting has been off, to say the least. Detroit has not hit one yet. The teams have combined for just 2 of 13. A foul coming up on Thomason.
Williams at the free throw line here had a nice year last year when it came into this year. Second team All Horizon League preseason. But he's had his struggles, especially with his minutes, only averaging 12 minutes a game, averaging 4 points. And I think the emergence of guys like Paris Bass and McFoley have really eaten up a lot of his minutes.
And Williams will earn the second. Williams at 4.3 points per game, 66% shooter on the year. And missed. Thomason there for the rebound. Final minute of the first half.
Wright State's had a lot of success with getting Yoho in pick and roll situations. They're getting him in the post.
Again, Thomason realized he didn't have the clear path there to make the pass. 8 seconds to shoot. Yoho will pull up. He thought he had it. He was backing away like it went in, but it missed. And here's Brundidge. And Brundidge again. And again, double figures. 28 last night, 10 tonight.
Brundidge has been great. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Now, if I was guarding him, I would play him at the free throw line. I would force him to shoot.
And timeout called by Wright State.
Taking advantage of a team that, really likes to get up in there.
So no shot clock here. The final 14 seconds of the first half.
Let's see if Morton said they go screen and roll and try to get him a look from 3.
Great defense by McFoley. Foul called on McFoley. That one could have gone either way. It looked like there was a little bit of a wraparound as well. A little clear out and a little wrap. That's why I'm sitting here. Free throw good by Minnis.
Refs are people too. And this hasn't been the easiest of half to officiate, but it was kind of set off with that Brundidge technical early.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And it's been just an odd flow to this first half. We've seen all these mini runs from both teams.
37-29. One more free throw coming here from Minnis. And that's missed. Ball loose into the corner and out of bounds to whom? It'll go to Detroit. And a timeout called.
This Green Bay in the paint was just too much.
Half-court shot is on the way and no good, and the horn will sound. And that'll do it for our first half of play here. Been a tough tournament for Bass so far. You weren't with us yesterday or don't know the story. He was suspended for a violation of team rules for the first half of the game. Came in with about 14 minutes to go, and a little issue with head coach McCallum on the sideline midway through that first half, and played a little bit toward the end, but it will not start here in the second.
You see Billy Donlin out of the halftime trying to get Corona involved. He had 2 early fouls in that first half. Wasn't really a factor.
Now Jenkins, follow a shot short. And the woes continue for Chris Jenkins.
He came into this tournament averaging 12 points a game.
Into Corona. Around 3 Titans he scores. First man to double figures for Wright State.
He's got 11 points in only 8 minutes.
McFoley to Hogan. Great cut to the basket there by Brundidge. And that's a 6'6", 240 guy making that pass.
And you see when Detroit moves, they get off the ball movement there, and they become a lot harder to guard.
Again to Corona. Forced that one up and scores.
Oh, feed the horse. Corena's feeling it offensively. 13 points. I talked about him not being a factor. He just wasn't on the floor. I mean, when he was on the floor, really, really good. Now, Hogan says, whatever you could do, I could do better.
We have a game of horse before this is all over.
How about that? 3 straight possessions, Corona touches the ball. Go back to him. Feed him.
And they will. Good job to at least direct that ball towards a teammate. They feed him again. Hangs and misses, but a foul coming up on Anton Wilson.
I love the aggressiveness there from the New Zealander. Calling for the ball, wanting the ball, and I like the repost, and then goes up strong. I can say this right now, he needs oxygen. You play that hard, that many possessions in a row, and you're that big, oxygen is at a premium. See how it affects his free throw.
And it did. We're on a 6'10", 270. Got the second. So 14 of the game for Coretta. The lead for Wright State is 9 points.
Wright State's defense on Wilson and Jenkins have just been tremendous in this game. Like, credit Hughes. He did a nice job on Morse yesterday. Let's see if Wilson can get going.
Too strong on that one. Missed everything.
A tough shot as well.
Thomason. Hughes faked the three.
Gotta get the ball to Coretta, right?
Good screen by Coretta there. Thomason inside. Off the glass, no good, but a foul.
Thomason here is much there. Just a little stop and go. And you don't need to be going 100%. It's the change of speeds that get defenders off balance. You wouldn't say Steph Curry is the fastest guy in the NBA, but it's that change of speed, and then it also helps that you can shoot from literally anywhere on the court. But end to end, he's not the fastest guy in any game that he plays, but it's the way he changes his pace that makes him so difficult to guard.
Thomason with 6 points, the lead 11 for the Wright State Raiders in the white jerseys. Detroit the number 6 seed, Wright State the number 3 seed. Playing to battle Oakland tomorrow night.
That's good defense there. You want to make Brundidge a shooter. See, he didn't want to take that jump shot. He wants to get into that lane, is able to get the foul call. If I'm all scored there, I back up. Like, I guard him literally at the free throw line. I beg for him to make jumpers.
Second on All-Star. And McCallum. Kind of good infielder's position over there on the sideline. And a near steal by Coretta. Into McFoley. Here is Brundidge surveying. A lead for Hogan. And a reach in. They're going to get Coretta. It looked as though the foul may have gone on All-Star with the reach. They'll say the body happened first.
Coretta's going to have to go to the bench here with those three. Ray McCollum, you just saw the joy that he saw in Coretta having to come out of this game. He knew right away that that foul was going to be on the big man, who's been great in this game. Coretta's got 14 to lead all scorers.
Wilson all the way in. A lot of contact, and a whistle now will stop play. And Mortensen will pick up his second. Third on the team here in the second half, and free throws for Anton Wilson, who comes in as a career 86% shooter. And trying to snap a drought of it again. Nearly 3 minutes for Detroit. And he does. So just 3 points here in this game for Anton Wilson. Senior out of Flint, Michigan. And he gets them both.
Well, I think the credit's got to go to Mark Hughes. He has just been on Anton Wilson like glove from the get-go. He really made Cam Morse of Youngstown State feel uncomfortable, and he's done the same thing today. He's been a difference maker without just scoring the basketball.
All-Star had an open look, passed it up. Now Thomason inside. So Thomason with 8. lead back to 11. 46-35, 16 and a half to go. Hogan holding. Brundidge diving inside and a jump ball. And it will stay with Detroit.
See, Brundidge doesn't want any part of that jump shot. He wants to get into that lane. That was great help defense there by the Raiders. I feel like Detroit, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Andy, I feel like they're looking around and looking over at the bench like, is Paris Bass going to play? Is he going to get back in the game? We're talking about a guy's first team All-Horizon League. Not playing here.
Yeah, a little distracted.
They seem that way, right?
Yeah. 7 on the shot clock. Now Hogan turning and facing and scoring.
Hogan has been sensational in this tournament. Hustle, bring your lunch pail type of activity down low. He's been great all tournament long.
Now Mortensen burst on the scene yesterday with 14. Nice pass inside. Yoho will get the friendly roll. Double figures now for Yoho with 10. And for Detroit, you can't afford to continue to trade baskets. Jenkins still scoreless. Yoho saved it in off of his own teammate. And now Allstork weaves through. And there's Mortensen for 3. Brundidge lost it momentarily. Double team. And traveled. Lost his pivot foot. And Detroit a little out of sorts at this point. And a lot to do with that is the fact
in the Palace and Auburn Hills, and
before that they were in Fort Wayne.
That's right. My father was a one-time Piston.
There you go.
In the early 60s, Dan Doyle. His stats for the Pistons were 30, 30, 30. If they were up by 30 or down by 30, he got in for 30 seconds.
And a whistle. And a foul. Jaleel Hogan. Third on Jaleel Hogan. So it'll be a baseline inbounds here. Actually, no. Are they going to shoot? And one of the officials walking over there, looking at an area by the Detroit bench to see if there's a wet spot. I'm not sure if a player complained about it while time was out here after the foul was called. And we're all set and ready to go.
For Detroit to get back in this game, it starts on this end. And there just hasn't been enough pressure on the ball to get offense from your defense. Look how Wright State's just swinging the ball around the perimeter. And then you get a great look like that. Now, I don't want to point the finger at Paris Bass and say that's the reason that Detroit's not playing defense. But this is a team that gives up almost 90 points a game. 82 to be exact. So, but there's just no friction there. When a team's able just to swing the ball side to side like that, they're going to get a good look almost every single time down the floor.
Mortensen just picked up his third, so the big men are in trouble here with 3 each.
Watch the lack of pressure here from Detroit. Look at just swinging the ball around, and then Yoho gets a wide open look.
Pass out of control, fought it up against the glass and missed, and Thomason there for the rebound.
This has just been an unfortunate conclusion for the season for Detroit, which had some highs. They knocked off Wright State this year. You know, it's played a lot of exciting basketball games. A lot of their losses have been close, but right now, Jenkins, Wilson, Bass, a lot of guys are struggling.
Hogan blocked from behind by Minnis.
And no numbers here. If you're Wright State, if you're able to work this ball around, you will get a good shot, especially the defense that Detroit is playing right now.
One thing that could save Detroit, not only defensively, but they shoot the three very, very well. That went out of bounds, so it'll be Detroit's ball.
This is great anticipation by Minnis right there. The little fella. Little guys always want to play like big guys, and big guys want to play like little guys.
I think the little guys want to play more like big guys. Wilson, a little too strong on that one. A couple of Raiders around that ball, and Allstork will take it down. Attempt to work for a good shot here and waste a little clock. Allstork stutter step. Shot was bothered by Hogan. Not sure if he got a piece of it. Allstork back, and now Jenkins fires and misses. Rebound put back up and in by Hogan.
Hogan's the only guy out there playing for Detroit. He's been great. Defensively at one end, making a play, and then hustling down on the other end.
Good time hitting a few shots in the game yesterday.
And I think one of the best young coaches really in the Midwest. A nice defense there by Bass, and maybe this is what Detroit needs as far as turning momentum around. That's what we called for, a better defense. Getting back to Donlin, his teams have won 20 games now 3 times since he's been the head coach of Wright State, his first year being in 2010.
Matthew Grant played some big minutes for them yesterday. Bass strong at double team. Big step into the paint, scores. That's vintage Paris Bass down low.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about Detroit. I mean, they can score. Over 80 points a game. They're top 20 in the country in scoring. So they just need to get going. And where does it start? Defense. They were able to get a turnover and they convert. It happens on this end of the floor if Detroit gets back in this game.
Minnis all the way in. And no whistle. A lot of contact. Wilson back the other way, drew the double team, now in trouble. Conley gets it out of trouble. Bass faked the 3. Trying to get his own rebound, and did, and that one was blocked again by Allstork. Ball out of bounds. It'll go to Wright State.
Excellent effort from Allstork there as Bass now playing with a renewed sense of energy, trying to get him back in this game. You see the 6'8" to the bench. When is the star going to get back in? There's been games this year where Bass has just taken over and gone on runs by himself. 8-0, 10-0 runs solo. So, but it starts at this end. Got to get some stops defensively for Detroit.
They reverse it to Minnis.
And Karena's back in the game. He's got 3 fouls. That's something to watch.
Good matchup here. There you go, a little defense.
Yeah, Hogan's been great defensively, picking up for others' mistakes.
And they'll wave off that basket. They'll say the foul occurred on the floor. Yoho got him.
Let's see if this one was on the floor. There's the bump. He fumbles the ball. Ray McCollum had no problem with that call. In the NBA, it's an N1. But in college, it's on the floor. Brundidge and Hogan have really been difference makers in this game. Hogan's got 11, but he's affected, I would say, a half a dozen shots.
Get it into Wilson. Detroit just 2 for its last 9 from the floor.
And Paris Bass is calling for the ball.
Hogan against Coretta. Ball loose, taken by Thomason. (54-41). Wright State the lead and the ball. Dump down to Coretta. Triple team. Hughes for 3. And taken by Bass. Inside on Yoho. Yoho thought he had some pretty good defense and position play there, but Bass will go to the line. 2 on Yoho.
If Paris Bass can bottle up the last 3 minutes on how hard he has played, he'll be the best player in this league. Better than Kay Felder, better than Alec Peters. He'll be the best player in this league. But can he get that consistency on the floor? Because the talent is there. You see the arms. He's got a smooth shot.
Now has 9 in the game.
And you see him defensively in that stance. There's a new energy about him right now.
Working to Corena again. Good defense again by Hogan.
I'd get the ball at Bass.
They do. Mismatch there on Minnis. And a foul called on Biggie Minnis.
And now he's taking over the game. Now, is it too late? No, there's 10 minutes left. But why didn't this happen early on in the first half? Where he just takes over and says, give me the ball. Yeah, they're the mismatch on Minnis. You can see, and this is what being at a game is, a little different than when you're watching it on your phone or on your TV or however you get your information these days. But you can just sense that he wants to take over this game right now.
Bass now with 10. So Allstark will come in for Minnis. And he gets them both. I mean, is it a situation where the game just is too easy for him? I mean, you get bored?
That's going to be Raymond Collins' job. Lucky for us.
Yeah.
We get the lead after the game.
Wright State hasn't scored in almost 5 minutes. Nine on the clock. Yoho leans in. That goes. Tough move there by Yoho.
Big basket by Yoho, too. It kind of showed his strength against Bass, and that's going to be a concern as Bass goes on, putting on strength to that slender frame. But a huge basket to stop the bleeding for Wright State.
56-45, Wright State the lead, 9:16 to go.
So they got to move when they get the ball at Bass.
Now Grant will stroke from three and miss. Allstark those long arms for the rebound. Thomason finds Yoho wide open, three good.
Seniors make big plays in big moments, and Wright State was going through a funk. JT Yoho steps up, back-to-back possessions with huge buckets.
It's the fifth three-pointer made in the game. 5 of 14 for Wright State, 0 of 7 for Detroit. Hogan hangs and just left it short. A lot of contact there, no whistle. Hogan slow to get back, now gets back into your picture. Corena got hammered from behind by Bass. So there was a little frustration let out on that foul, maybe?
No doubt about it. Detroit made a run, and then you see Bass there. I mean, that's a hard foul, but nothing malicious.
No.
JT Yoho, remember those two baskets. Because if Wright State moves on in this game and gets a chance to take on Oakland, those are the baskets that separate the boys from the men in March.
Corena good on the first. He has 15 in the game.
It's got to scare you a little bit if you're a Wright State fan that, Oakland is next. We're talking about one of the top scoring teams in the country, and we've seen really in both games for Wright State, even against UIC, they go through these scoring droughts where they just don't score, and against the Grizzlies, they're going to make you pay.
Bass wants it on the overplay. Yoho takes it. So Thomason, as we get the 8-minute mark to go. The winner, as Tim just told you, gets Oakland tomorrow night at 9:30 Eastern time. Yoho all the way in, blocked on the shot, but he will go to the free throw line. Foul will stop play here with 7:47 to go. Wright State.
For a team that knocked off Valpo twice, I mean, the Crusaders only have 2 losses in conference, both to Wright State. I think someone's deserving of that honor.
So another one coming here for Yoho. 4 of 4 from the floor and 10 points here in the second half. And now another one from the free throw line. And 19 points. And the one in bonus time. So the biggest lead of the game has been 17 by Wright State. That was about 5 minutes into the second half. And right now. And Detroit has had one lead in this game, and it was 2-0. That tells you where Wright State came from and basically took control. And Bass did not start tonight. He has 13 points, 8 here in the second half.
A 1-3-1 defense here. This is where Raymond Collins trying to get some turnovers, turn that defense into offense.
Good reversal there.
You got to get your hands up in this zone. Get active hands.
Now crash in, reverse layup is good, high off the glass.
And Yoho with the delivery. And that's how you beat a zone. You get into the teeth of it, right into the middle. Get those good decision makers there. Yoho is just that.
And a basket by Chris Jenkins, and that's his first basket of the tournament.
Came into this tournament averaging over 12 points a game. He has just struggled.
And Coretta fouled and no continuation. Foul on the floor. And Hogan commits his fourth. And Hogan trying to figure out what he did. So 16 foul for Detroit. No shots. 6:45 to go. He was trapped. Wilson almost with a steal. Thomason with a burst. Yoho sidesteps a man just at the top of the key, missed. And Wilson for the rebound. Bass cut off and turned it over. Allstork all the way in on Wilson. He's fouled. Only thing Wilson could do.
This has been a major problem all game long for the Titans. That's 18 turnovers for Detroit. Allstork, who had a wardrobe malfunction there in the first half.
Blew a tire.
Yeah. One of his sneakers gave an end to its career.
Allstork now to double figures with 10 points. Ray McCallum has to hope now for some offense and some stops. The latter part has not been happening. Allstork 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Work it into Hogan. Double team to him. McFoley way outside, missed. Bass in the backcourt now against Allstork. A foul on Paris Bass. And this should be one in bonus. Bass will pick up his third.
Detroit has not made a three in this game.
That is correct. 0 of 8.
Came into this game one of the leaders in the Horizon League in threes made as well as percentage. Shoot 38% from three and make over 8 threes a game. You know, and that's really the difference. You know, you're down by 17 points. If you make 8 threes a game, at this point in the game, you have made 4 or 5. And that's what you're down.
Bass will take a seat. Brundidge back in. Allstork 11 points. And again, 1 of 2 from the line. Jenkins will lead for Wilson. 5:50 to go.
The Wright State showing 2-3 zone.
Jenkins crashing in, missed the shot, but he'll go to the free throw line. And that's the dimension he kind of brings. I mean, he can shoot the three, but he can also really bang inside. He's 6'7". He's a little lanky, but he's got some size to him. Remember that game we did early in the year when they played Central Florida at Callahan Hall. He scored 26 and was the best player on the floor.
I mean, a player in any sport, you know, you go through a funk. And unfortunately for him, it's been in this tournament where didn't get a lot of great looks, wasn't able to convert against Youngstown State, and unfortunately it's carried over into this game.
Good on the pair.
But that's the way you find the rhythm again. You're able to get to the free throw line, maybe get an easy basket, and only 4 points so far in this tournament?
Yeah.
Came in averaging over 12 points a game.
So a short rest for Bass. He'll get out Hogan. Hogan will take a seat, talking to himself a little bit. Again, full court pressure here by the Titans. One-on-one pressure in the backcourt. Thomason slipped through the open man, and a three is short. Jenkins high for that rebound. Jenkins spinning. And a foul on this end of the floor. We're staying right here. Foul will go on Allstork. That'll be 3 on him. 2 shots for Carlton Brundidge, who had 10 points in the first half, has not played all that much here in the second.
And that's, you know, a credit to Wright State as far as, you know, really focusing in and taking Brundidge out of his comfort zone. Billy Donald's got to be happy about his defensive effort first 2 games, right, Andy?
I would think so.
This is a Detroit team that averages 84 points a game. They're going to be lucky to get into the 70s.
It's interesting because it goes back to what you spoke of a little bit earlier in the game. As Hughes, a free pass to the basket. His first bucket of the game, but about matchups. And there's so many different styles now of play in this league with up-tempo, medium-tempo, slow-tempo. I mean, it depends on who you draw. And Jenkins will score. So Jenkins with 6, all here in the second half. 13-point lead here for Wright State with 4:38 to go.
Yeah, I think Oakland's a bad matchup for Wright State. Now, in both games this year, Oakland has scored 89 points. You know, does Wright State have that capability to get that many points? I don't think so. And then with these scoring droughts that they've had, even in today's game, you know, Kay Felder and his bunch are going to take advantage of it.
And Yoho hits the bucket, but they're going to call the foul before the shot. And it's 1-1 here for Yoho. Foul on Jenkins. He'll pick up his 3rd. 9th on the team.
We'll be able to see if there's any truth in that rumor, you know, because if you're playing early, the coaches go, we get a rhythm, we get used to the court. And if you're playing late, you go, we got fresh legs. Well, now we're going to get a chance to see it with Valpo and Oakland waiting in the wings.
Yep.
And no longer are they going to be playing on their home court, so unfamiliar territory. This has been a gym that has not been kind to shooters. Just ask Detroit that they haven't made a 3 in this game.
You're right.
Milwaukee and Green Bay combined to shoot under 30% from 3 in their matchup earlier today.
And one by Green Bay to advance to face Valpo. 7 Eastern tomorrow. The winner of this one gets Oakland at 9:30. Ball out of bounds. And they'll stop play here with 3:56 left to go.
It's really been a great environment up here in Detroit. A culmination of a special year for the Horizon League. And it'll be interesting to see if Oakland gets in. Or if someone else other than Valpo gets in. If Valpo is able to get an at-large bid. And no Horizon team has gotten an at-large bid since those great Butler teams in the early 2000s.
And it becomes more and more difficult, as we talked about yesterday, with upsets taking place in other conference tournaments with top teams that maybe have a better resume.
Yeah, well, look at the Missouri Valley. You know, they're going to get 2 teams this year, so I think it would be unfortunate if the Crusaders do not make the tournament.
I agree with you. They've had a great year.
I thought it said a lot about their wins up in Wisconsin. Both Milwaukee and Green Bay were hard-fought games. And I thought they would lose one of those. They had already had the league clinched, but I thought that showed me a lot.
So Brundidge now with 16 and a timeout. Called? Yes, timeout called by Ray McCallum.
Quality chances to go out there and get top 100 wins, but IPFW is a top 100 win. They beat Oregon State. That's a team that's clearly on the bubble. And folks that follow the mid-majors realize this. Nobody wants to schedule Valpo.
No.
And nobody, heck, sure, is not going to go to Valparaiso, Indiana to play them. So that's where I think the tournament has to do a better job of giving the quote-unquote the little guy an opportunity. And this is one of those years.
You can't look just at the surface numbers. You got to look a little deeper.
And I'll tell you this, if Oakland gets in, that first game, I cannot wait to see their matchup. And that will be a game that, according to Vegas odds, I would say is a complete toss-up. Because they have proven this year by beating Washington and taking Michigan State right down to the wire that they can play with anybody in the country. Their point guard, if you have not seen him play, Kay Felder, I mean, what a special talent. One of only 15 players left nominated for the Wooden Award. He's not going to win it. I think that award's probably going to go to Buddy Hield of Oklahoma, maybe Denzel Valentine of Michigan State, Ben Simmons of LSU. But after those three guys, I have them fourth. And that's saying a lot about the Horizon League and Oakland itself.
And it was really nice to hear Coach Campy talking with us at halftime of this game about not only how great a player Kay Felder is, but a great teammate and a good guy.
I know this, when your best player is your most unselfish player, that rubs off on everybody on the team. When you're best,
because then you think higher number, but it's actually the higher ranked team. The things I think about.
The things I don't think about.
That's why I'm here for it. Big collision there. And another big collision with Brundidge. And Hughes. And the official is going to call Brundidge for the illegal chuck, so to speak, there. So 2 shots now. Double bonus here for Wright State. 2:04 left. And Hughes. Again, contributing more on defense than on offense. That's just his 3rd point of the game. But again, lockdown defender.
Oh, he's been great. Anton Wilson in this game has been a non-factor. Only 4 points, no field goals made. And Mark Hughes did the same thing that Cameron Morse came into the game against Wright State, averaging over 20 a game, and just wiped him out in the first half. Morse got a lot of his buckets late or at the free throw line.
Bass working to get his own rebound and put back. 15 for Bass. Nice decision on the bounce pass there by Thomason.
Thomason was a junior college All-American, and Billy Donlin is fortunate to have a guy like Thomason and Hughes, and Minnis comes in. He wants to guard. A lot of different guys want to give great team efforts.
And a strip steal, but out of bounds. So it'll stay with Wright State, but 4 on the shot clock. And there you see Daniel Colley waving the 4 fingers to remind his teammates they only have 4. Because you fight so hard to get there.
Well, and also your body's not used to these games. You don't play all these consecutive games until this format, and this is where everything's on the line.
Thomason just hits the rim. Here comes Brundidge. All the way in. Great body control and scores. And a timeout, Ray McCallum.
Carlton Brundidge, this will be his. He's trying to prepare Paris Bass for the greater picture. Your time at Detroit is only going to be 4 years.
The foul on Jenkins. A lot of moaning and groaning going on with those that are left here. That looked like a lot of ball. So again, double bonus the rest of the way here, so 2 shots. Detroit is out of timeouts. Wright State has its full left. Possession arrow favoring Wright State. And Allstork good on the free throw. And Corena will come back in. Again, Biggie Minnis. And Allstork gets them both. Minute 10 to go. 12-point game. Wright State in front. Jenkins. Bass fighting hard. He got it, and a foul. With 59 and 5/10 of a second to go.
If you're a Titans fan, if you're Ray McCallum, you got to love this effort. Because this game is over, essentially. And the fact that Paris Bass keeps fighting, this is a good sign. This is something where Ray McCallum can, cut up and show Paris Bass and say, kid, if you keep doing this, you could make a lot of money playing basketball somewhere for somebody. But it's more than just the 40 minutes on the court. It's taking care of your business in the classroom as well as off the court, and then working on your game and your body.
Bass good on the free throw. He has 18, 13 in the second half. 9-point game. And Allstork is fouled by Brundidge. Fourth personal foul on Brundidge. And again, 2 free throws for Mark Allstork. And Billy Donlin was talking to us yesterday, too, about the season that this team had last year and all the adversity that they went through. They basically had 6 healthy bodies dressed by the end of last year. And they blew a 19-point lead at UIC in the first round of the tournament, and it was over. And luckily for him, he's got that disposition where it kind of rolls off his back a little bit after a little self-evaluation, I guess. And
I guess, with injuries, what can you do?
Yeah, there's nothing to do. You got to play who you have.
And I think it's built a lot of character in this team.
Touch there by Bass. He's got 20. 13th time he's scored 20 or more this season. Jenkins picks up his 4th. And again, 2 shots. And Ray McCallum, when you look at what he has, what he's losing this year, Anton Wilson, obviously a 1,000-point scorer. And Carlton Brundidge, those are the 2 that he loses to graduation.
I really like Jaleel Hogan. I thought he had moments in this
game.
He played extremely well in this tournament. Chris Jenkins will be back. He has struggled in this tournament. But maybe the light bulb will go off for a guy like Paris Bass. McFoley comes back. That this is now his squad. And this is his team. And he's got plenty of time for that to go off because the talent is there. It makes me think of a guy like A.J. Hammonds at Purdue as Bass with another deuce here. It took A.J. Hammonds a while for that light bulb to go off, but now Purdue's a concern. Grizzlies want to play fast. They want to shoot a lot of threes. Not one team here has shot well.
It's a good point. I mean, the unfamiliarity with the gym, and then you look at it from the other side of it, and you think that, okay, well, how much is Wright State going to have left in the tank? But yet, they've shot on this building in 2 games. And you think by the 3rd game, you would maybe have it figured out.
Now, we want to pass on our condolences to Oakland guard, 6th man of the year in the Horizon League, Max Hooper, whose father lost his battle in the last 48 hours. Greg Campy said that Hooper is home with his family right now, and it's going to be questionable if he's going to be back. He's gotten so much attention this year, Andy, from all the 3-point shots and lack of 2s that he has made. But what a special moment that was, senior night at Oakland, when after the game he goes up and hugs his dad. And I just happened to be watching that game on TV, and it was just a very emotional scene. So We wish him and his family, obviously, the best during this time. And Greg Campy's going to give him that rope. He says he's got a flight back, but they're not sure if he's going to be in the lineup or available for Oakland. And that can go two ways. You know, you can be emotional. We've seen special efforts from guys before, you know, like a Brett Favre on Monday Night Football, where that's something that could really sap the life out of your program. It's so hard to predict because it's such an emotional thing. And for Max, that's something that...
Corona off the mark with that one. And there goes Anton Wilson. Scored his 1,000th point last night in the game, and certainly well appreciated by the Detroit faithful. Nice job by Ray McCallum to get those guys a moment. Pass again. So again, the story really here defensively early on, Wright State really kind of asserted itself. And that turned this game. No Bass early, and it ends up in a Wright State victory.
Yeah, it was the defense for Billy Donlin. It's been solid throughout this tournament. That's his calling card. Detroit in this game, 0 of 11 from 3, turned the ball over 17 times. That was due to the pressure defense.